need to know about a little about the prenatal development. So as you can see the chart which is there on your screen, a prenatal development is usually divided into a pre-embryonic period, okay, a pre-embryonic period, then we have an embryonic period as well as a fetal period. Now talking about the pre-embryonic period, this is the time, this is the period which extends from fertilization. You can see fertilization, right? It extends from fertilization to the end of second week of intrauterine life. So remember, fertilization till second week of intrauterine life. So this is what pre-embryonic period extends from. Now in that, you can see we have fertilization, we have cleavage, we have implantation, as well as the formation of germ layers. Now we'll see in detail each day what are the main events that happen in the coming slides. So after the pre-embryonic period, next one is the embryonic period. Now the embryonic period usually extends from the beginning of the third week to the end of the 8th week. See, that's what it's written in your screen also. Beginning of the third week to the end of the 8th week. Okay. So till the end of the second week, we already have it in the pre-embryonic period. So after that, that is the beginning of the third week, till the end of the 8th week, that is what we call it to be a embryonic period. Now in this, the events are formation of placenta, formation of umbilical cord, as well as the extra-embryonic membranes. Next one, apart from that, we have formation of germ layers had already happened in the pre-embryonic period, but the differentiation of those germ layers into specific body organs will happen in the embryonic period. And lastly, we have the fetal period. Now, fetal stage extends from the beginning of the 9th week to the birth. Now, this is a particular stage where the growth and the specializations of the body structures happen. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. The pre-embryonic period, the embryonic period, and the fetal period. In some of the question papers, they have asked about the pre-embryonic period. So this is what you need to be very clear with. Prenatal development divided into 3: pre-embryonic, embryonic, and fetal. Right from conception to the end of second week, it is pre-embryonic. From the beginning of the third week to the end of the 8th week, it is embryonic. And beginning of the 9th week till the time of birth, and that is fetal. Okay, so this is about the prenatal development. Now, let us see the embryonic development in days. Okay, days. Now, first one, we already know. Day one, definitely that is going to be fertilization. If you can write down as a chart or something like that, it will be very easy for you. So week one, let us see. Week one, we have day one, that is fertilization. In day two, that is embryo with 2-cell stage. You can see the embryo with 2-cell stage, sorry. In day three, we have the formation of morula. Okay, formation of morula. Remember, right? The mulberry kind of stage. Okay, 16-cell stage. We have morula. Next one, day 4. Day 4, we have early stage of blastocyst. That is what we call it to be the early blastocyst. The early stage of blastocyst. Okay, you can already see the morula, whichever was here, they have differentiated into blastocyst, as well as the zona pellucida layer. It is no more there in the blastocyst. Okay, now early blastocyst, that is the 4th day. Week 1, 4th day. Now, coming to the 5th day, we have the late stage of blastocyst. Late stage of blastocyst is exactly when the blastocyst is basically divided, the cells, okay? The outer cells, outer cell mass is divided into the syncytial trophoblast as well as the cytotrophoblast. Okay, if you remember, we have the trophoblast, right? Trophoblast divides into cytotrophoblast and syncytial trophoblast. So yeah, syncytial trophoblast. This exactly happens in the late blastocyst. And after that is the day 6 and 7. Uh, Day 6 and 7 together, we have implantation that is taking place. Implantation taking place after the syncytial trophoblast and the cytotrophoblast is differentiated. Okay, or else you can say that implantation taking place soon after the trophoblast divides into cytotrophoblast and the syncytial trophoblast. I hope this is clear. Okay, we all know that after or unless and until the trophoblast is differentiated into syncytial trophoblast and the cytotrophoblast, there will not be starting of the adhering process of implantation. So this is about the first week. Let me tell you once again. First day, fertilization. Day 2, embryo with 2-cell stage. Day 3, morula, a formation of morula. Day 4, early stage of blastocyst. Day 5, late stage of blastocyst. And day 6 and 7, we have events of it is implantation that is taking place. Okay, this was about week 1. Now coming to the next one, week 2, day 8. Okay, this is week 2. Sorry, week 2. Yeah. So week 2, day 8. The first one is the formation of the bilaminar embryonic disc. The bilaminar embryonic disc is formed in day 8. Okay, day 8. Now after that, now this is very important. You need to remember the bilaminar disc is formed in day 8. Now day 9, we have a formation of formation of lacunae in the syncytial trophoblast. Now you can see, right, in this particular picture, the green one is basically the syncytial trophoblast. Okay. Now over there, you can see a lot many vacuole formations. That is the lacuna. So trophoblastic lacuna formation in the syncytial trophoblast happens in the day 9. Okay, day 9. Same time, you can see the yolk sac and all that is clearly visible. Now, from day 10, okay, if we divide day 10 and no, not division, sorry, day 10 and 11 happens the same thing. That is, embryo gets completely implanted in the endometrium. Okay, the embryo gets completely implanted into the endometrium in the day 10 and 11. So if you might have read your textbooks, may it be Datta or any other such textbook, it is clearly mentioned that implantation completes on day 11. Okay, implantation completes on the 11th day of conception. That is what the textbook also tells you. So day 10, we have the embryo that gets completely implanted into the endometrium. So week 2, day 10 and 11. After that, we have day 12. Here, there is a formation of extra embryonic mesoderm. Okay, extra embryonic mesoderm formation in day 12. Okay, day 12. Now, next one is day 13. Day 13, we have the formation of primary villi. Okay, formation of primary villi on day 13. I hope this much is clear. So whenever there is a primary villi, this is exactly the time when the uteroplacental circulation begins. Okay, these are interconnected. Whenever there is a primary villi, that is exactly the time when the uteroplacental circulation happens. Now, already you might have seen here, the lacunae formations have happened, and still, when what happens, the syncytial trophoblast will again try to expand and will also engulf all the blood vessels. So once that happens, you can see the blood vessels are inside the trophoblast now, and that means the uteroplacental circulation has begun. Okay, this is in the day 13. So last day of week 12, that is day 14. Here the formation of precaudal plate and the connecting stalk happens. The precaudal plate and the connective stalk happens, or else you can say the embryonic disc development happens over here. Okay, so let me tell the formation of precaudal plate and the connecting stalk happens on day 14. Okay, I hope you're understanding. If anything you want me to repeat, please do let me know. So coming to the week 3. Okay, week 3, day 15. Here, the most important thing which you need to remember is formation of the primitive streak. Okay, primitive streak, formation of primitive streak. You can see over here, the formation of primitive streak happens on day 15. Now coming to day 16, there are two things that happens. First one is the mesenchymal cells. Okay, the mesenchymal cells from the epiblast. Okay, from the epiblast, these will migrate. Okay, migration of mesenchymal cells from epiblast happens on day 16. This is number 1. Second one that happens is formation of secondary and tertiary villi. Okay, tertiary villi. So when we say migration of mesenchymal cells from epiblast, what you need to remember is there is going to be gastrulation formation of germ layers. Gastrulation formation of germ layers on day 16. Okay, now this was about the day 16. Coming to day 17, over here, we have a primary streak, right? From the primary streak, the cells will migrate. You can see right over here, this particular part is the primary streak, and from there, the ones which you can see is the violet or maroonish color cells, they are migrating. So on day 16, what happens is the migration of cells from the primitive streak. Okay. So if someone is asking you, when is the formation of primitive streak? Your answer should be on 15 or day 15th of intrauterine life. Now, next one, what happens on day 18 is formation of a trilaminar embryonic disc. Once the cells, once they migrate from the primitive streak and they come in between the ectoderm and the endoderm layer. Okay, now here we get a trilaminar embryonic disc, and that happens on day 18. So now we can clearly see we have an ectoderm, we have a mesoderm, as well as we have a endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And what we call it to be? We call it to be a trilaminar embryonic disc. Okay.